huge factor in the game. And then ultimately, getting the ball with 7 minutes to go at the end of this game and finishing the game with the ball in our hands and never giving it back to them. That's an explosive team. So for us to possess it, I thought it's just kind of indicative of how far we've come. Our ability to rebound when things don't go our way in the second half, and then our ability to finish games on the road, to possess the ball and finish it out. There's a lot of individual highlight performances to talk about, but all in all, it's a heck of a team win, and really proud of our players. We have a ton of respect for that team, for Alabama, and I know how well they're coached. I know how hard they play, and so 52-1 walking in this stadium here over the last 53 games. So I think it just shows a lot about kind of what we're capable of. And like I said, coming into the game, this game's not going to define our season. We got 10 more regular season games to play, but I think it does serve as a good benchmark for us of kind of what we're capable of and what the potential of who we can be as a team moving forward.
Questions?
Sark, when it was 16-13, maybe felt it slipping away. Was there a message, or just keep rowing the boat?
No, our thing was we knew we were going to get faced with some adversity tonight. When you play a really good team on the road, not everything's going to go your way. And I told the team before the game, and I didn't waver off it, we were going to be aggressive tonight, and we were going to stay aggressive. We went for it on fourth downs. We didn't make some. I mean, but that's you have to try to win the game. And so I didn't felt like it was slipping away. I just felt like it's our turn, and our guys responded really well.
Coach, what can you say about your defense and their performance and what they were able to do?
Well, at the end, I think getting pressure on the quarterback was big. I'd like to think that forced a couple errant throws, which created a couple turnovers there. Getting a couple really big sacks. Anthony Hill was some big-time sacks. That was a really big sack there late in the ball game. But to play really good defense, you got to, A, stop the run, and then, B, you got to try to affect the quarterback. And, they hit some plays, and they got an explosive group. But at the end, we stopped the run good enough. They hit a couple explosives, but we were able to create 2 turnovers, and then we made plays at critical moments when we had to.
There's been so much talk about the deep ball for months now. How nice was it to hit a few of those, and just the confidence that it kind of instills in Quinn to actually hit a few of these late, in a game like that?
Hopefully you guys don't ask me about it for a while. No, yeah, I know. We have to hit them so you guys stop asking. But in the end, as the game wore on, you could kind of feel some of the coverage going to Xavier, and that created some opportunities for JT, obviously AD, and then Jay Witt with a couple big plays in there. And so to hit the deep ball early to Xavier, and then to come back and get that deep ball to AD for that long touchdown, and then finding some of those intermediate throws to some different people. JT made some really big plays, and as well as Jordan. So, I think that's what we have to get accustomed to. I talked about that to Xavier in the fourth quarter. He was recognizing the double coverage. I said, that's a good thing. That means the other guys are getting their one-on-ones, and now they're making their plays.
Coach, before the year, you talked about when culture meets talent, and it all comes together, you can have something special. Is that kind of what we saw tonight?
Well, I'd like to think so. We've worked long and hard on the culture aspect of it, and I love these guys. Like they really give us everything they have, and they trust us, and they believe in what we're doing. We've tried to recruit really well to get good players in our program that are made of the right stuff. It's not just about stars. It's, are they made of the right stuff, and are they coachable? And I think that's what this group has. And in the end, the coaching continuity, which we've talked a lot about, I think is shining through a little bit. Our guys understand our calls, why we're doing what we're doing, and then they really put forth the preparation, and then they try to go execute it on game day.
Thomas, go ahead.
When you talk about sacks, your line didn't give up a sack. What was the key to keeping Quinn clean against that?
Well, I think a lot of that's a little bit on Quinn, where he has a really good understanding of what we were calling pass game wise, and that ball was getting out. Even when he was getting to secondary reads, the ball was out pretty clean. I thought our tackles had really good games. I just felt like Kelvin and Christian both protected well, as well as internally. And ultimately you got to change your protections up. You got to keep moving on them. You know, and I know how well those guys are coached. So if you just stand in the same thing over and over, they'll beat you. So we had to kind of keep moving as what we were doing. So in the end, you know, like the ball is such a huge thing now. To go 2 straight games, no turnovers, and then protecting the quarterback, and then in the end to be able to run it when they knew we were going to run it. You know, everybody wants to look at running stats. I recognize that, but you have to be able to run the football when they know you're going to run the football, and clearly that's what that last drive was. There were 7 minutes to go, and we finished the game with the ball in our possession.
Terry, go ahead.
On TV that we don't fear them. Why was that important for you to get that message across, not only to your guys, but even to a national TV audience?
Well, I think it's important that, you know, a lot of people, I've been in that locker room, and a lot of people walk in the stadium, and the mystique of Alabama, they're beat before the ball gets kicked off. And I had to make sure that our players understood that we're good enough to come in here and win. But the moment doubt creeps in, that's when you can start making the mistakes that can get you beat. And so I wanted to be clear with our players that, hey, it's not about we fear them. We do respect them, and I respect a ton of that team. But we were good enough to come here and win if we played capable enough to do it. And we played that style of football tonight. I don't think the moment was too big for him. And I don't know if that's a stride, but from the moment the ball got snapped the first time out, he just showed great composure tonight. You know, even when, you know, I thought there was a couple instances where his feet got a little kind of choppy in the pocket, we got him settled back down. I think there's a lot of credit to Coach Milwee being on the sideline, talking to him, and keeping him in the right mode and right frame of mind. And I thought he managed the line of scrimmage really good. I mean, to be in this environment and not have one false start, that's a real credit to Quinn managing things, and then everybody else. It's not like we lined up in static formations. There were shifts and motions and things going on. And so for our guys to manage all of that, I think there's a lot of credit to Quinn too, that he was composed and managing everything out there on the field.
Coach, can you share,
Go ahead, Terry.
Coach, can you share what Coach Saban might have said to you in that?
No, that kind of stuff's private for us. That's between us. I have a ton of respect for him. I owe everything to him. I would not be standing here in front of you guys without Nick Saban. So that's very clear, and I'll never waver off of that.
Front middle.
Coach, from Mexico, we talked a couple of weeks ago via Zoom. Do you remember that?
I know. My Spanish is awful, by the way. I tried, though.
I know.
I tried.
But what is the meaning for you about this game, about this victory in this town?
Well, I mean, huge. You know, this University of Alabama, Nick Saban, Tuscaloosa changed my life. You know, at the moment of my life when things were not going great. And, you know, he extended me an olive branch, and everybody here was so supportive of me coming here, and then bringing me back a second time to then having to have open heart surgery while I was here. So these people here mean a lot to me, and I'm very grateful for everybody at Alabama and in Tuscaloosa for what they showed myself, my family, my wife. So to come here and to play them and to play the way that we played, it's humbling, you know, because life kind of goes full circle on that kind of stuff. So not to get overly emotional about it, but it means a lot.
Steve, can you talk about the special teams a little bit, specifically the pin punt by Keaton that leads to the interception of plays later?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think paid off in full getting, you know, Ryan Sanborn to transfer from Stanford. You know, you get an experienced punter to lay that ball where it was. He hit another really big punt later in the game field. But I've said all along, I think we have the 2 best gunners in the country. I think Keaton Crawford, Keelan Robinson are phenomenal, and that helps us that we can protect knowing we got 2 gunners that can cover with an experienced punter who punts it where it's supposed to go.
You've been around a lot of talented quarterbacks. Does this feel like a moment for Quinn where he kind of feel like possible breakthrough?
Well, I think for Quinn, just like our entire team, why did we play good tonight? I think we played pretty good tonight because we prepared really well, we practiced really well. And so now for them to recognize that that's what it takes every week, that's what championship teams do. They don't have ups and downs in their preparation. They prepare right mentally, they prepare right, and then ultimately performance, you know. So preparation will speak performance. And that's what Quinn did tonight. You know, I think he prepared great for the game. I think he had a really good understanding of what we were trying to do and why we were trying to do it. I think he got through reads. You know, he never got stuck on his first read. He was able to work through his progression. Then he was able to bounce back when things weren't going great. So all in all, I think it can serve as a springboard for Quinn if he can recreate the habits, right, Sunday through Friday to get himself ready every Saturday.
Got time for two last ones?
Offensively, defensively, was that fourth quarter about as perfect of a quarter as you guys could have?
Well, you know, I say this a lot, and I know sometimes it sounds like coach speak, but I believe this. You get what you emphasize in this profession. And as coaches, sometimes going back to year one, how ugly some of those fourth quarters were. And then you go to last year where we were kind of 50-50. We played decent fourth quarters, and we didn't play great in some fourth quarters and lost some games. And so as you continue to, as a coach, put forth an emphasis in practicing things, tonight, I think it shined through with our ability to play fourth quarter football. You know, we've worked really hard on our conditioning. We've worked really hard on keeping guys getting recentered and refocusing in the fourth quarter. And because it comes down to execution in the fourth quarter, and then you've got to be really well conditioned. So I thought those things showed up tonight. All righty. See y'all. Hook 'em.
Okay.
Quinn, yours? Quinn, how satisfying was that?
Yeah, it definitely feels great. You know, we focused on the opportunity all week. I mean, we were all fired up for the opportunity that we had, and I couldn't be more proud of the way we played and prepared for this one. It feels really good.
Quinn, what about that O-line? They didn't sack you.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, it starts with those guys up front. Couldn't be more proud of those guys. They're whatever they want, they got it from me.
How much of a relief was it to finally get some of those deep balls and have some success with that?
Yeah, it's awesome. Connecting those deep balls, especially when they're touchdowns, it's huge. So, you know, hopefully we can keep on hitting those and see what happens.
Is that something you worked getting that high? Those got them up pretty high in the air. Is that something that you've changed or tried to work on a little differently?
Yeah, I definitely needed to add height. I mean, y'all saw it with X. He'll run right under it. So, just throw it up and give my guys an opportunity. And tonight they made those plays.
But it's been a really interesting journey for you to get to this point, legitimizing factor through development and all the things that you've done since you've gotten to Texas. What was it like to come out here and display that skill set?
Yeah, it's awesome. Just from all the work we put in as a team, you know, the cold winter runs that we do, you know, the hot summer runs we do. It's just, I'm so glad it's all coming to life, and y'all see the work we put in the off season.
Did you hear those Texas fans as the game was winding down?
Oh yeah, I could hear them. They were fired up.
For you personally, did this one feel like a long time coming in a way?
I mean, we know what we were going to come out here and do. We stuck to the plan. We trusted the play calls. We trusted the coaches. The coaches put their trust in us, and ultimately we came out on top. So.
Was there any part of this finished what you started last year? Any of that feeling at all?
You know, it definitely sucks going down in the first quarter last year. But like I said earlier, I don't play the what-if games. I just came out here with a mindset to attack their defense, and it was a lot of fun.
With that early drop.
Up that moment at the end of the game, with fans going nuts, Sark and so special for him. How was it hitting you?
It was awesome, especially because I got to see my parents. I got to see my mom and dad, and you know, just from all they've done for me, to see the smile on their faces and how fired up they were, it's definitely going to be a moment I'm going to remember forever. And yeah, it's going to be pretty cool to talk back on.
Did you visualize this, like, at any point during those cold winter runs, the summer runs, night before the game?
Oh yeah, you definitely got to visualize if you want to succeed in this game. You got to see it before it happens. Yeah, just fire it up.
Could you tell that the guys were different, or the mindset, the locker room? What did you sense about the team today?
You know, I think I did a good job of, you know, keeping those guys in the game and firing them up. But you know, we marked this one on the calendar, and we were super fired up to get out here. And again, just the opportunity that we had was awesome.
Is this a breakout performance for your career in your mind?
Maybe so. I guess that's up to you guys.
Why was this fourth quarter different for you guys as opposed to some of the other fourth quarters last season and I know before you got there in 21?
Yeah, I think we're dialed in on, again, the plan that we had. You know, we trust in the coaches, trust in the plays, and the O-line did what they needed to do. Again, it always falls on those five guys, and they really took care of business, especially in that fourth quarter.
What message does this send about Texas?
I mean, it's still early. Still got a lot of game left, a lot of games to play. So we'll enjoy this for 24 hours and regroup and see where we're at.
Was it redemption for you a bit, considering you got hurt last year, you couldn't finish the game, and this play the whole game, you come out?
I wouldn't say a redemption, but like I said earlier, it sucks not to finish out that last game at home, especially. But it was awesome to come in here and, you know, do what we did. It's pretty rare, so it's a really cool feeling.
Wait, last year after the OU game, you said you kind of read too much about how great you are. Do you have a social media plan this time, or lack thereof, to not listen to all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm just not going to look at it. It's that easy, right?
Quinn, Coach Sarkisian talked about he had a different conversation with you this season about the finer details of the game. Did you see that play out on the field?
Yeah, for sure. I think it goes to show how much time we put in this offseason, you know, working on the smaller details, because, you know, how you do small things is how you do all things, and I truly live by that.
A.D. Mitchell, you know, I mean, he caught a go-ahead touchdown pass against Bama in the national championship game 2 years ago. Just talk about what he means to this team, what he did tonight.
I mean, he makes plays. That's what he does. And I'm so happy that he's on our team making those same plays, you know. He's a great player. Just fired up for the rest of the season.
A couple more?
When they scored their last touchdown, got that 2-point conversion, the stadium was going crazy. Do you remember anything?
Last question for Quinn.
Going into that drive?
We knew we had to come out and score a touchdown. There was no more to it than that. We were confident in our abilities, and it showed. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Quinn.